Everyone, I am Anuja Shrivastava and today I am just going to carry forward the rest of the topic in class 8 physics, and the name of the chapter is heat transfer. So in previous video I already taught you about the conduction, convection, radiation and the evaporation, and today I am just going to teach you about is the energy required during the evaporation and boiling is same. That means whenever the boiling and evaporation takes place, so the energy requirement is same or different. So the thing is that the energy requirement is same in both the process, in boiling and in evaporation. In both the processes the energy requirement is same. Okay, now you know that at higher temperature, if the temperature is higher, the water molecules need less energy to evaporate, because already the molecules are still in the movement, because temperature is high, so molecules are still colliding with each other, so that they require less energy to evaporate, because they are already having the kinetic energy. And if the lower temperature is there, if the temperature is less, so they require the huge amount of temperature so they can escape or they can evaporate. That means you can easily say if the temperature is higher, the rate of evaporation or the process of evaporation takes rapidly, and if the temperature is lower, the process of evaporation takes time. Now let us see some application of evaporation. So evaporation, it is very important process, because whenever the summer time is there, so evaporation helps the perspiration, that means it removes our sweat from the skin and it cools down our skin. It also helps to dry our cloth easily during the summer time. One more process it is doing during the summer time, we are used to apply water on the floor or on the terrace. Why? Because whenever we are pouring the water on the floor or on the terrace, so they just take up the heat from the floor and escape up, and then leaving behind the cold temperature and cold floor on the floor. Okay, one more application is needed for the application, that is the refrigerator cycle. Okay, this is the refrigerator cycle. Okay, what is the refrigerator cycle is there. So how the refrigerator works? You all are using the refrigerator or fridge, but how this fridge works and how it cools the your whatever the materials you are keeping inside the refrigerator. So your refrigerator, it works on the two basic principle. One is the evaporation and one is the condensation. That is, refrigerator works on the two principles, evaporation and condensation. Now let us see how this refrigerator works. I have drawn the roughly diagram of refrigerator. So what happened over here? This is a refrigerator, and you all are knowing that refrigerator having the compressor, which is very important part of it. So all the refrigerator having the liquid which is known as the refrigerant. They having the one liquid which is known as the refrigerant, which passes through the tubes, series of tubes. Is series of tubes ke through that is going to passes. As it passes around the refrigerator, so what it is doing, it is absorb the heat inside the refrigerator. That means it passes through the refrigerator, and whatever the heat inside the refrigerator will be there, that is just going to absorb by this refrigerant, and as it is going to absorb the heat, this liquid becomes vapor. This liquid is going to become vapor or become gas. Thereby what they are doing, they are going to do the cooling inside, they are doing the cooling inside. And when this vapor is passes through the condenser, as you all are knowing, condenser what it is doing, it just turns gases into the liquid. So when this gas is passes through the condenser, the gas is again changed back into the liquid and releasing into outside of the compressor, releasing inside the compressor, and this cycle is continuously going on, and it cools down the material which kept inside the refrigerator. Okay, now let us start the another topic, which is boiling. Okay, so boiling is somehow related with the evaporation, and if we simple way, you can see what is boiling. It is a rapid change of state from liquid to the vapor, that means quickly change of liquid to the gaseous state at a particular temperature. That means here we are going to mention the particular temperature, and the temperature on which the boiling takes place, that temperature is known as the boiling temperature. Okay, so you will get the definition in the book, so I am not going to write definition over here, I am just going to explain you. So boiling is mostly formed by the bubbles. Whenever the boiling takes place, the bubble formation will be takes place, but whenever the evaporation takes place, there is no bubble formation will be there. Okay, so that's why you must know the boiling and the evaporation. The boiling occurs at the specific temperature, and that temperature is known as the boiling temperature, and in case of water it will be 100 degree centigrade. Okay, so if we are going to explain the boiling on the basis of kinetic theory, that means on the basis of molecular theory. You were also studied about the kinetic theory. So as we know, all the molecules are made up of atoms and molecules. There is no need to tell you again and again. And total energy of the substance is the total internal energy. That means जो internal energy होती है, that is known as the total energy. It is the kinetic as well as potential energy, both the energy is there. So as the liquid is heated, the average kinetic energy of molecule is increases. As you know, movement is increases, so the average kinetic energy will also be increased, and the temperature is also increased. The liquid will be reached to the point where the bonds of liquid is going to break, just like the evaporation. जब उनको इतनी heating provide कर देते हैं, तो उनके बीच का bond क्या होने लगता है, वो क्या होने लगता है, it is going to break. और जैसे ही ब्रेक होने लगता है, now the energy is supplied to the point, it breaks the bond and the liquid is start boiling. So that is only and only related with the complete kinetic theory and the movement of the molecule. That means the molecules are going to move and they are just going to boil and evaporate. Let us see some normal and easy differences between the boiling and the evaporation. So previously I told you that boiling is a very fast process, but evaporation is the slow process. It is a fast process and this one is a slow process. Okay, now the boiling takes place throughout the liquid. It takes place throughout the liquid, and the evaporation takes place at the surface. Previously I already taught you about these two terms. Now one more thing I taught you, that during the boiling process the bubbles are formed. but in the process of evaporation no bubbles formed. Okay, now some other topics are there. If evaporation is there, so evaporation can also occur in the atmosphere in the temperature of surrounding, but boiling need the source of high temperature energy, because evaporation also takes place on the nature. The water is evaporated from the river and from the ocean, but water is not going to boil from the river and the ocean. That means boiling, it need the energy source, but the evaporation, it taken heat from the surrounding. Okay, now the boiling, one more thing, it is having the impurities, but water vapor and the evaporation of the area, evaporation which is exposed in the surrounding temperature of surrounding amount water, they are having the nature of liquid. In simple way we can say that in boiling atmospheric pressure and impurities is there. Atmospheric pressure will be there and impurities will be there in the boiling, but in evaporation water vapor in the atmosphere and nature of liquid will be there. So this is all about the difference between the evaporation and the boiling. Rest of the topic I will discuss in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.